I'm Brianna.
I'm Bridget.
And this is Let Her Cook. All right, what are we doing next? Guac or queso?
Or margaritas.
Both.
A shot?
A shot.
Okay.
Of liquor? Okay.
I wish it was cold.
This is gonna suck.
Can we get this lime happening though before we... Oh, it is hard.
Okay, it is. I almost chopped my finger off.
I don't even think we can cut this one. Did you ever have like companies that had like beer or wine?
So
they wanted to keep you in the office.
My favorite job, actually, a job I'd go back to if they paid real money.
Oh no.
It was my favorite job. It was a sustainable tech company.
It's always the favorite
It was
job
such a vibe.
like
Everybody was
shit.
like in their 20s. All we cared about was like the earth and sustainability. It was great. My manager, shout out to Jeff.
Okay, Jeff.
He had the most iconic bar cart in his office and a cabinet. So you'd open the cabinet. And
Like
he had,
Don Draper.
He had like Woodford Reserve.
What?
Yes. And so if I was ever feeling stuck on my work, he would just call me in and take a shot. It was perfect. I wouldn't recommend it.
Jeff.
Like,
his name was Jeff. We all need a Jeff.
Yeah. Jeff. But that was one of my first like big girl jobs.
No, my like first tech job was my first like they had kombucha on tap, but also like
Kombucha?
yeah, it was great. But also like they had everything, like the LaCroix fridge, like dedicated,
wow.
like they would cater lunch every day, but alcohol was a big thing at that company too. And I was like, that was my first moment into like, wait, workplaces don't have to be stuffy and I can literally wear whatever I want. And like that's I think how I knew that like I wanted to stay in the startup space for at least a little bit, because I was like, oh, I can just be myself here.
Yeah, because professionalism is a scam.
It's true. Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
I'll cheers to that.
Okay.
Professionalism is a scam.
Okay, but do you think that though? Do you think it's a scam too?
Yeah, because it's for specific people. It's for the guys in the Patagonia vest, which again, I'm really not hating on them. We need them.
Yeah.
They need to be there. They have a right to be there too, as much as we do. Like they have space as well to take up, but like it's not just like a one size fits all. And again, I think like the startup culture of like the hoodies and like the t-shirts and like that like actually really opened my eyes in a very tangible way. Like yes, it's not like every place, but like it just really kind of shocked me. And then I was like, oh, like I don't have to dress business casual to go into an office.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of that just like broke my brain a little bit.
No, that's true. And I feel like growing up, I always had this really rigid view of what like a businesswoman looked like.
Yeah.
Or like how I was expected to show up at work, which is why I didn't get tattoos for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I had to fit into this really specific box if I wanted to make it anywhere.
Uh-huh.
But I also feel like, yes, like professionalism is about like the clothes you wear and stuff like that. I also think it's like we're told to speak a certain way or to like code switch.
Yeah. Yeah, what was
Like
that?
not to talk about ourselves too much, I think, as women. Like,
yeah.
always be humble, like advocate for yourself, but like don't be annoying about it.
Right.
Like ask for the raise, but don't be greedy. You know what I mean?
Right.
There are just so many rules, and I feel like it's this playbook that a lot of us just didn't even get the instructions to, or manual we didn't get the instructions to.
Right. We weren't privy to it.
We weren't privy to it, but we're still like
Yeah, I'm still there.
still have to cater to
Still
it.
in the room.
So I think there's just a lot to unlearn in general, but I feel like early in my career, I didn't have the privilege of thinking I could unlearn it.
Yeah, I think like it's definitely not just the clothes. Like that was just my first like
Right.
understanding. And I think that like I still tried. I think when you're starting in your career, you do look to everybody else to like how you're supposed to be. Right? And like I do also think that COVID really shifted. Like almost everybody on a Zoom call now is in whatever they want to wear.
Sure.
Like some people are on camera, some people are not on camera. Like it's so much more, I think, on people's terms, which I think is a really good thing. But then we have companies like RTO or whatever, like, right? Like coming back into the office and like do things. So like, I think that is back to that point of like, find your fit, like find the company that like allows you to be as much of yourself as you want to be in the workplace. Like, I don't know that I really believe in like bring your whole self to work. I believe in bring however much of yourself that you want to. Like, you don't owe yourself to anybody. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But I am very much myself.
But that's also a choice, though. Like,
right.
that's still bringing your whole self to the extent that you, like, even outside of the clothes and tattoos or whatever, it's also like more conversations about mental health and like that side of humanity too.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot after COVID.
Yeah.
Especially on LinkedIn. Like, I don't have to be perfect. Like, people can be honest about what they're struggling with or stuff like that. But I do think, I don't know, I think this whole idea of professionalism, and I won't rant, but like,
Please rant. I'll eat chips.
it does cater to a very specific demographic of people. And I don't know, I think you reach a certain point in your career and it's like you almost have the luxury or the privilege of deciding not to cater to that anymore. But when you're 21 or 22 or 25,
That's what I mean, yeah.
and you want the promotion or you need the job, like, yeah, I'm gonna show up in the pencil skirt or whatever the hell you want me to wear, like, because I need the work. And I think that's part of the conversation about professionalism that bugs me, is it's always people our age or older saying like, oh, just fuck professionalism, it's fine. I can say that now because I work for myself.
Yeah.
Because I know I can go and get a job if I need to. So I just find that interesting too. And I think it's really demoralizing when you're younger.
Yeah, and also like that's the most impressionable time of your career is when you're like trying to figure out how to be and who to be, and like the youngest time in your career is when you're going to be looking to people the most. And I feel like in looking at people around me, I was just very thankful to be in rooms where there was people being themselves. And so like I was like, I don't want to be like you. I know that you are just being yourself, so I can be myself. And like, again, for me, that didn't happen until the startup. But then moving into like more of a leadership role at the next one, like I took that and said like, how do I show up as myself so that my team understands that they can be themselves too? Like,
Okay, kind of an abstract question, but what does it actually mean to be yourself though? Because you just said like you don't have to bring your whole self. So like, what are you bringing?
well, I bring my whole self, but that doesn't mean that somebody else needs to if they don't feel like, if they want to compartmentalize, if they don't want, like, I don't know that I could do my job effectively if I wasn't, because for me, what I see it as like I'm just present.
Okay.
Instead of like having to worry about like, oh, did I mention this? Did I like say, I don't know. Some people don't want to talk about their family. Some people don't, and like that's totally fine. So like I think that saying like bring your whole self, like some people don't want to do that, and like that's cool. But like, again, that's like a professionalism thing. Like it was almost the opposite where we weren't allowed to be yourself. You had to be like a corporate drone.
You have to fit into like a very specific box.
Okay, but what about you? Like, how do you show up as yourself? Like, are you a full yourself all the time kind of person at work? Or LinkedIn or whatever?
Well, okay, so I think I show up as myself on LinkedIn. I write the way I speak. I don't over edit myself. I talk about what I want, talk about politics, talk about mental health, talk about burnout. Like but I also don't share everything about my life on LinkedIn. Like people know I'm engaged. They know I have at least one dog. But what I'd like to share more of is like, not necessarily the things I'm going through with work, but what I'm learning about myself as I go through them.
Okay.
And that's where I get personal, which I think is what resonates. With work, I think it looks a lot different now that I work for myself. I get to be really selective about who I work with. Like, if you don't want to work with me as I show up, that's fine. I will go find another client.
That's how I feel too. I'm like, if I'm myself and it deters you from being a client or a coworker or whatever, like, then we don't have to work
But that's a luxury too.
Correct.
Again, I think I'm grateful for it. But the way I show up too, I think I'm not really over the top. Like, I'm pretty chill on calls. I'm not going to sell you on a call. And so I think the way I show up is just, I don't know, maybe this is weird to say, but I think it is just palatable for people.
Yeah.
I do think people I've been told that I'm not what people expect when they start talking to me.
What do you think they mean by that? Another chip.
I think it's like the hair and the tattoos.
Okay.
And like, I get told that I speak well, which is just like a weird thing to say.
That's just racist.
Thank you. I just think there are assumptions that are made, which is fine. If you don't pay my bills, I don't really care about your opinion.
Right.
I know I've said that a million times.
Right. No, but it's true. I think that's a good reminder to me. It's about like, yeah, I don't care about your thing. And it's harder to do than it is to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the way I show up is pretty easy for people to connect to because I keep my expectations low and I just kind of match the energy of the person that I'm with. I do think that's a luxury. That's not how I showed up earlier in my career, especially when I worked in-house. I felt like I was trying to prove myself, but not be too much, and like show my sense of humor, but not be too like over the top or bold or anything. And I didn't feel comfortable in myself. So I think that's shifted a lot, and I'm proud of that. But that took time, and I never reached a point where it felt like somebody just said to me, "Hey, you can be yourself now."
Right.
I think I just got really tired of
Being somebody else.
Yeah. It's exhausting.
Do you feel like the different rooms too, like you moved differently in different places?
Yeah.
Or was it?
Well, that's
yeah.
code switching in a nutshell.
Right. And I think like that's worth calling out. Like it's different for you than it is for me.
Yeah. I think as a Black woman, you're taught at a pretty young age to code switch, like especially if you grow up in predominantly white or male spaces. You just kind of, it starts with just like tweaking yourself a little bit, and like the way you speak. For me, it was like the way I laugh. Like,
what?
Yeah, it got like pretty granular.
That's fucked
And
up.
I had friends who did the same thing. Like they'd make their laugh a little quieter or like a little less bold.
Sorry,
you know what I
I'm
mean?
joyful.
Yeah, but I think it's, you just kind of, and then it starts to become second nature.
Right.
Like you just kind of can read the room and match the energy. And then
Right.
I think that's also served me in certain ways, especially now that I'm working for myself. But it is also very unhealthy.
Right.
But you also have to do that if you want to climb the ladder.
I think it's like doing it on your own terms though too. Like to your
Yeah.
point, like being the quiet one can actually definitely work in your favor. Of like
I like being the quiet one.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're actually listening to what people are saying and then like have something to say that moves the team, the people in the
Yeah.
room forward instead of just like continue to put out like your ideas or whatever. Like I think that being the quiet one can really help.
That's actually a good point too, because I didn't think about that. I used to feel very weird about being introverted.
Yeah.
I don't really speak on calls unless I have something to say.
Yeah.
Even then, I might not say anything. I might just keep it to myself. And I felt weird about that. Like I was told to like be more assertive or like talk more, whatever. Like,
Well, yeah,
And
because
I'm
that's
just a
how you
quiet
move
person.
up, right? Like that's
Yeah.
how, if you're not the one speaking in meetings, how are you going to be the one leading the meetings? And
Yeah.
it's like, well, it's not about that though. Like,
not about that.
And about my idea, like the ideas and the like work being done.
and it doesn't matter when I share the idea. If I share it
Correct.
after the meeting, that's fine.
Right. And it's probably better because I had some time to think about
Think
it.
about it. But listening has served me well. I think like learning to lean into my strengths. And in that case, listening is a huge one, and just
Yeah.
observing.
Yeah.
Once I actually embraced that and like stop trying to just fill the silence, like fill the space with noise, because that's what I was told to do. It's like I gave myself the space to show up in the way that felt right, and then that let other people see the impact I actually had.
Right.
Which is scary,
Right.
but I think it worked really well. How do you actually define professionalism? Do you define it?
I don't know that there. Let me think, because it's like you and I define our own professionalism because that's how we show up for clients, right? But like,
Yeah.
how would I define professionalism if I was working in a corporate structure? Like being kind, letting other people speak in the room. Like I think that there isn't this. The only structure that I think that there is the like humanities of it all. Like, are you all working together? Are you asking other people what their opinion is? Like, I don't know. I kind of lean toward like, do you play nice together? That's professional. Like, it's not about how you speak. It's not about what you're wearing. It's about like, are you a team? I hate even saying like team player. That almost came out of my mouth because like, I've heard before, you're not a team player. And I'm like, that's hilarious because
Yeah.
I've spent 20 years playing sports. So like, I don't get how that's possible, but like, okay. It was when I was leaving companies that they were like,
Yeah,
you're not a
that's
team
when
player.
you're not a team
And I'm
player.
like, yeah, I'm leaving
Because
the
you're
team.
leaving the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like that's more important in a professional environment is like, how are we working together? That's how I would define professionalism versus like, I don't know, what are the other like structures?
Yeah.
What
That's a good point.
what would you say?
Well, if somebody asked me that, which I guess you are,
Yeah.
I would first say professionalism is a social construct that needs to die. So
scam.
stop saying it's a scam.
Yeah.
Just stop using the word. Like,
Right.
I'm professional because I work in a job
Right.
that I'm inherently professional.
Well, there's like a box, right? And
Yeah.
I go outside of the box on purpose.
Yes. So I think like if I have to use the word professionalism or be professional, I think it boils down to empathy, collaboration,
Yeah.
and like a willingness to grow and accept feedback.
Yeah. Feedback is good.
That to me sums it up, because the professionals that I respect are the ones that like don't have huge egos, the ones that are open to learning, open to change, open to pivoting. I think that's what makes you just good at what you do, regardless of the industry you work in, regardless of whether or
True.
not you work for yourself or work at a company. And then I also think,
Oh no.
I do think hygiene also.
Yeah. Please take a shower.
Spicy take, but like I just think that also plays a role.
True. True.
I don't think we talk about that enough as a society.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
So empathy, collaboration, willingness to accept feedback, bathing, preferably daily, but I will take every other day.
That's our definition of professionalism.
Yeah. Seriously though, I think about that.
Bathing is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a benefit that we're all work from home. So like everybody can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But bathe every day.
They're still bathing. But yeah, that's how I would define it. Actually, those like 4 key things.
Good. It's great.